Hello, let's do some more science for this week. This week we're actually going to do both Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 because Chapter 3 was pretty short. So I hope you enjoyed the little demonstration about the weight of air. So let's move on now to Chapter 4 on page 17. Looks like this. The study of weather. With this page, with this chapter, is this worksheet. Science number 9. And then I'll be back with a separate video to go with science number 10. So, you're looking for answers to go on science number 9 right now. Let's read the first little part together and then you'll read the rest of the chapter by yourself. Meteorology, right here. Meteorology is the study of the atmosphere. Most of the studies concentrate on the troposphere and the weather that occurs there. All right, so remember back to this page that you did? Here's the layers of the atmosphere. The troposphere is the bottom one, closest to the Earth, where the weather happens. This is the layer where the clouds are. The very tallest clouds are right up in here. Airplanes fly above the clouds. So the troposphere is where weather happens. Back to the book. Conditions in the troposphere are most affected by the energy and heat from the sun and the effects on the gas molecules and water molecules in it. Energy from the sun reaches the Earth in the form of visible light, ultraviolet light, and infrared light. If you remember what we learned about light, there's a long spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, big, long, and a little bitty part right in the middle, about as big as my nose, is the visible light spectrum. Just to one side of it is ultraviolet, and just to the other side of it is infrared. It goes the other way around. So ultraviolet means above violet, and infrared means below red. So ultraviolet rays, it says, right here, most of the ultraviolet light, which is harmful, it's what gives you sunburns and skin cancer, they talk about that later, is absorbed by the ionosphere. So there's another thing God did when he designed the atmosphere. Way up here, way out in space, is the ionosphere, way up there. And most of the ultraviolet rays that are harmful to life are absorbed up there. So just a little bit gets through, but enough to give you a nice sunburn if you're not careful. Back in the book. The visible light allows us to see, but the infrared radiation has the most effect on our weather. The infrared light passes through the atmosphere and warms the surface of the Earth, which warms the air. Stop for just a second. So infrared is heat. It's a form of light. You can't see it with your eyes, but it's what we feel as heat from the sun. So, back to the book. It warms the air, causing air currents and leading to most of the weather that we experience. Next paragraph, right there. Meteorologists, that's not people who study meteors, that's people who study weather. Meteorologists study 5 major conditions of the atmosphere. So this is the 5 conditions that you're going to put right here on the paper. So they're highlighted in orange type, and you can find them and write their definitions. I'm not going to take the time to read all of that. So that's what you're going to fill out. And then the last question at the bottom here with the 4 blanks comes from this green box on the next page, on page 19. The 4 basic ingredients that work together to make weather. That rhymes. Work together to make the weather. Okay, so there are 4 things in here. Find them and write them down. Name them and tell how they are a part of making weather. I want good, thoughtful, thorough answers. Not half-baked answers. Thank you. And then at the bottom, Would we have weather if one of the above ingredients was missing? Explain your answer. Give an example. So don't just say no because they all work together, or yes because they're all independent. Tell me yes or no, and then tell me what would happen if one of the 4 ingredients just suddenly wasn't there. Would we still have weather? Let's see what you think. Be thoughtful and intelligent. All right, I'll be back later with the demonstration of how currents in the air are formed. Bye.